PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now.
All right, Seahawks and Titans. Moving on to the Titans hosting Seattle here. You want to talk about the Titans side of things, or Seattle bouncing back after a loss?
I want to just shout out Seahawks rookie. I guess we'll call him a safety, but he plays in the slot a lot. He plays a little bit of linebacker. Nick Emanry, and the difference that he's made since he got healthy in Week 5, he's just been outstanding, right? 74.9 PFF grade, 75.5 run defense grade, 73.7 coverage grade. He's got 6 pass breakups. He's got 9 pressures as a blitzer. And look, Seattle uses more sets with 5 and 6 defensive backs than any other team in football, but when one of them is 6'3" and 230 pounds like Nick Emanry, it's kind of the same dynamic we've talked about with Kyle Hamilton and the Baltimore Ravens, where that guy's your third linebacker, and that's kind of your base defense. You can call it nickel with Emanry listed as a defensive back, but their nickel is really then when they bring in another corner and move Devon Witherspoon into the slot or put Darion Kendrick even in the slot, and you have Emanry still out there. It's kind of that, it's that same dynamic as Baltimore's defense, where Emanry's got the right amount of size and athleticism where he can defend the run well. He can blitz off the edge well. I see all of the same things. I'm not saying Emanry yet at least is as good a player as Kyle Hamilton, because Hamilton can get back free and be the best free safety in football. But for, I think, this role that Emanry is in, he's a big reason that this Seattle defense looks like an elite defense right now, and they don't have to mess around with a whole lot of personnel packages to match up, multiple tight ends or spreading out or anything like that. You've got, again, more of these hybrid players are going to become more and more important, Trevor, when you talk about draft evals and roster construction and putting together your defense. But I just can't overstate the value that Nick Emanry has brought and how he's made everyone else around him better. I think it's just another challenge for this Titans offense to deal with this week.
Yeah, no, Emanry has been fantastic and a fantastic landing spot. It's a great story of having a prospect with a diverse skill set who goes to a defensive coordinator in a defensive system where they're allowing him to have that flexibility. And so he's playing with a ton of confidence very clearly. He loves the environment that he's in. He loves the coaching staff that he's in, because you don't play that well unless those two things are present. So it's really fun to watch Nick Emanry play well. I don't know if it's a guarantee if he is this player on many other teams in the league, to be honest with you, because there's just not a ton of defensive minds that are quite like Mike Macdonald and that creativity that he has with how to use those hybrid linebacker, safety, slot defender type of players. So it's great to see him get into the mix, even with Devon Witherspoon back in that lineup. Dalton, you'll like this one. For the Seahawks offense, I think Kenneth Walker is going to become a bigger mainstay on this offense. And I say you're going to like it because you've complained multiple times when we've been watching games on Sundays about him being on your fantasy team and them not giving him the football enough. He had 16 carries for 67 yards last week, but also 3 targets for 3 catches and 44 receiving yards. He had a 84.2 rushing grade over the last 4 weeks. And, there have been times when he's been a very highly graded running back in our system over the last 3 or 4 years. And sometimes the volume hasn't always been there for him. There's split time between him and Zach Charbonnet. And so they like to have a deep running back room. But I think we're going to get Kenneth Walker more involved this week. I think that he is going to be more of a staple of their game plan out of the backfield moving forward. I'm not saying that they're going to completely go away from Zach Charbonnet, but it might not be as big of or as close of a split, I should say, as it has been lately. I think they're going to start to lean into Kenneth Walker a little bit more against a Titans team that has been playing better on the defensive side of the ball. But this is a bounce-back game that I fully expect the Seahawks to be ready for. I don't think Sam Darnold played horribly from a snap-to-snap basis last week. He had the 4 turnover-worthy plays, and those obviously aren't good. His passing grade was really bad because of it, because he had the back-breaking plays there. But he still made some plays. He still played decently well. It's sort of just a hat tip to what Chris Shula, defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams, was able to do, really confusing Sam Darnold, not letting him be confident, putting him under heavy pressure, and then Darnold was coughing the football up and putting it in harm's way a little bit too much. But there were plenty of plays in between those turnover-worthy plays where Sam still looked good. So I don't think that he's, turning back into a pumpkin, as people will say. I think that it's going to be a bounce-back game from him this week.
I agree. I do think there are some challenges when it comes to Seattle trying to run the ball, because the Titans' run defense grade is actually in the top 10 in the NFL. In the middle of their defense is a challenge to deal with. Jeffrey Simmons, Tavondre Sweat, Cedric Gray, the second-year linebacker, has been one of the best run defenders in football. They're getting the rookie safety Kevin Winston Jr. involved a little bit more the last couple weeks as well. So their run defense is actually something to deal with, and the Seahawks aren't sure if they're going to have Gray Zabel, their first-round pick at left guard, in for this game. So I could see some challenges there running the ball, but at the end of the day, I think Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigbar are too good to stop this year, obviously, and then for Tennessee to stop with their secondary the way they're struggling. I've got Seattle 24-6. I still think they get a pretty easy win here.
Yeah, I got Seattle 27-10.